Friends, let's talk about an easy way to save lives. That's donating blood. Joining me today is Deandra Smith with the American Red Cross. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you, Deandra?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course, we are so glad that you're here. You are having a blood drive and you're encouraging donations from the Black community because 1 in 3 African American blood donors is a match for people with sickle cell disease. Now tell us a little bit about how sickle cell disease affects the Black community, Deandra.
So, like you said, it's a primarily disease that affects primarily the African American Black community, and it's an inherited blood disorder. So, about 1 in every 365 Black or African American person is born with sickle cell. And so, normal people blood cells live for about 120 days. People with sickle cell, our blood cells only live for about 12 to 15 days. So, our blood cells die
Yeah.
faster than they regenerate. This leads to complications such as stroke,
Yeah.
organ damage, and chronic pain. And just life saving blood just helps the quality of life for
Yeah.
sickle cell patients like myself.
It sure
And
does.
with the Black community,
Yeah.
um, it's they're able to help
hmm
by just rolling up their sleeves and donating blood.
And tell
Those
us,
people
I,
with sickle cell,
yeah.
like myself, we might have to have up to 100 blood transfusions
Oh,
in one
wow.
year.
Wow, Deandra. So, you were talking a little bit about how it affects the African American community. How important is it for sickle cell patients to get that matched blood donations?
It is very
Yeah.
important because of the constant transfusions. If you're being constantly transfused,
Right.
you run the risk of having transfusion related complications. And the best way to combat those transfusion related complications is to have a donor from the same race or ethnic background as yourself. And when you have more donors rolling up their sleeves, we can get the match for these patients living with sickle cell and help their quality of life.
I love it. And so the American Red Cross blood drive is in Flint this Wednesday, November 30th. It's at Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village. That's at 4119 North Saginaw Street. It's from 10 a.m. until 3:45 p.m. And I think what's so important about this too, you're also screening for the sickle cell trait with donations. Is that right?
Yes, yes. People can come out and they can learn their sickle status.
Mm,
Sickle cell trait testing has not always been mandatory.
yeah.
So a lot of people do not know their sickle cell status. And when they come out and give blood, they will be tested for the trait and they will know whether or not they have the trait. Both of my parents had the trait
Mm,
and they did not know. And they did not know that I was going to have the disease because they didn't
right.
know they had the trait. So this is very important
Yeah.
in the African American community to know your sickle status, pardon
Yeah.
me.
Sure.
And coming out, rolling up your sleeves,
Mm-hmm.
you're not only helping save 3 lives, but you're helping improve the quality of life of sickle cell patients, and you're also learning your sickle status.
Is it just walk-in or do they need to register, Deandra, for this?
Both. So if you
Okay.
want a specific time, please go
Yeah.
and log on and schedule your appointment. But of course, we accept walk-ins as well.
And I have to ask you, Deandra, as a sickle cell patient yourself, what message would you have to people who are just apprehensive about going and donating? What would you say how important it is and what you would hope that they would definitely go out and roll up their sleeves?
I would tell you 30 minutes of your time can change the quality of my life and people with sickle cell like me for weeks and months at a time. And so when you think about being hesitant, we have a professional staff. We have all the questions, the answers to your questions. By rolling up your sleeve, you are not only saving a life, but you're helping with the quality of life. And it only takes about 30 minutes to an hour of your time to do something good and to save a life. If you need someone to hold your hand, we have people available. If you
Love
need
it.
more information, we have people available. There's no excuse. You're going to get a mini physical so that we can make sure you're healthy enough to donate and give. We're always going to put the donors first and make sure that all of your questions are answered So there's no reason to hold back. Just come out and see us and help save a life.
Deandra, I think that was the best message of the day. 30 minutes to an hour of time out of your day, and you can save someone's life. Thank you so much for joining us with this valuable information. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. So get out there, roll up your sleeves, and help save a life. If you have any ideas on what you would like to see on our show, you can send them to us at WNEM-4pmnews@WNEM.com. Just use the subject 4 p.m. News Spotlight.